back. What's up, everyone? Happy Sunday, February 26th, man. We're wrapping up the month. We're wrapping up this show, man. We got what, two episodes? Well, besides tonight, obviously, two more episodes, man. This is crazy. But happy Sunday again. We're back with our live Last of Us watch party slash discussion after the watch party with our after show, and this is going to be a good one, man. I have a feeling based on the trailer, also based on the title, which you all can see on the screen now. It's called Life Left Behind. Now, if you all have been following these discussions that we have after the show, I had Jay on last week and we talked about it. I've never played. This is based on a DLC, the like an ad, not an add-on, but it's like extending the story of the original first game. But I'm vaguely familiar with some of what they were going for in this the DLC. So this from the little bit of knowledge I do know, and based on the trailer, we will be getting some Ellie backstory, and which is going to be neat. What I remember from the trailer, I think this is when we're going to see the actress that played Ellie making her debut tonight, which is going to be cool. And we got a couple of those of Perry, the character to play Perry, voiced Tommy in the game. I think there was a couple other actors that appeared in the game that's made their appearance. Marlene, and like I said, we don't get the actress. I think her name's Ashley Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. She's going to be in tonight's episode, which is going to be cool. And Storm Reed, man, I'm a big fan of her as an actress. She's come, I've been watching her since, damn, she was a kid, y'all, with that Disney movie with Ava DuVernay. And she was a couple other projects that she was really well in. And she just seeing her age up, man. Suicide Squad a couple years ago. She was in this year's film Missing. Euphoria fan. She's been in that. So she's been doing her thing. And she's going to be in tonight's episode. That's going to be exciting to see. So the backstory, who is Riley, who we, like I said, I don't want to give too much away from what I do know about the DLC. So we're going to be getting that. And, I would assume we're going to see how Ellie was probably bit and, what happened at the mall, the mall that she had mentioned with Joel and Tessa in episode 2. So this is going to be a good episode, man. I'm really, really excited for it. I will say, I would imagine for those that haven't played the game, based on last week's ending, you're probably on the edge of your seat, right? As far as, okay, we're going to get this flashback, but what's going on with Joel, right? So I can only imagine how you all feel. It probably feels similar to if you guys watched The Walking Dead, and I can't remember what season it was. And I think they didn't address it for like a couple weeks, and that was the Glenn situation when Glenn was being chased by the walkers and he went like under a garbage can or something, and we were like holding our breath for weeks, didn't know if he lived or died. Then they came and showed us what happened. So I would imagine that's how a lot of you all might feel. Well, what's up with Joel? So who knows? I mean, maybe they'll, me and Jay talked about last week. I think a lot of this episode will be mainly flashback sequences, but they might throw in last 10 to 15 minutes, show us what happened to Joel. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens tonight. Hey, Thor. Come here, buddy. So, but yeah, man. What's up, everyone? Again, happy Sunday. Hope you all had a great weekend. Let me know in the chat what movies you guys saw the weekend. We had Cocaine Bear that dropped. Was there any shows, any major shows? Well, I don't know if there's any Outer Banks fans, but Outer Banks dropped on Wednesday. And I don't know if you guys watched that over the weekend. I did. I'm a big, that's kind of my guilty pleasure show. I'm a big Outer Banks fan. So I'll probably be making some content about my thoughts on the new season. If you guys are interested in that. But yeah, man, this weekend was pretty chill. Out here in the Midwest, the weather's been pretty decent. My allergies are all over the place with it being hot one day and cold the next. But hey, I can't complain. No snow on the ground, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, let me know in the chat before we get into our live stream what you guys did for the weekend, which movies you might have watched for the first time. Like I said, did you guys see Cocaine Bear? If so, what'd you think about it? Did you guys watch any of the new shows that dropped? Like I said, Outer Banks. Let me know in the chat. And speaking of the chat, let me check in and see who we got in the building. Again, I pulled up a couple comments. What's up to Tony? My man Jay, Anthony in the building. What's up? We got Rims. What's going on, Rims? We got Mayanne. We got Krista. May Kent. What's going on? Unstructured Media. What's going on, man? It's been a minute. How you been doing? Hope you're doing well. I know you've been enjoying the show. So hopefully we get another great episode tonight, my friends. So shout out to Unstructured Media. And back-to-back might be back to back to back weeks. Harley always coming through, man. I really appreciate you, Harley. Showing some love with the 49.99 super chat. I can't believe how good the show is. Can't wait to start up soon. Yeah, Harley, it's been a refreshing feeling to know that they stuck the landing so far, right? With these 7 episodes. I think out of the 7 we've gotten so far, I don't want to say bad, but my least favorite episode was probably episode 4. And that's when I think it was episode 4. That's when we met, when we went to Kansas City and met that group of people. I didn't really enjoy that episode too much. Nothing really too big happened. That's when we got Sam and Henry at the end. But yeah, that's probably my least favorite episode. But outside of that, every episode has been a banger, emotional. They stick to the emotional landing, getting these characters built up. So I've really been enjoying it. And yeah, I can't wait to start this episode in less than 4 minutes. But thank you so much, Harley, for the love, for the support with the super chat. Hope you're doing well. Again, I know we gotta talk about some DC stuff here soon. Hopefully, Harley, with the DCU. Hopefully getting their stuff together, because I know you're a big DC fan like I am. So shout out to Harley with the love and the support, and hope you're doing well. But again, thank you. This episode should be, I think so. Like I said, I haven't played the DLC, but I'm vaguely familiar with what they were going for in that extended part of the DLC. So really excited to see what we got tonight. Zia showing some love with the 499 super chat. Hey, Elliot and chat, best Sunday live stream since you stream. Watch alongs. Yeah, the jackets. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you, Zia. Yeah, I really do love, I say it every week, and I really do mean, I love these Sunday traditions that we've kind of built with HBO shows. And we may, I'm thinking, I don't know if there's any Succession fans, but I don't know if you all have seen the news. Earlier in the week, they announced that this new season will be the last season. So that sucks, because I'm a big fan of that show. I am happy that it's not going too long, because if you all have been watching my reviews on that show, I always predicted it was always going to be like a 4 to 5 series or season show, because it's only so many times the Logans can screw each other over and all that stuff. So I'm happy they have an end goal, and they have like a story they want to tell. But I was hoping that it was going to probably be a 5th season. So that'll be coming out literally in a month. So to bring it back home to Zia's point here, these watch alongs, we might do a watch along for Succession for the final season. So that's something I'm thinking about. So of course, if the audience likes it, wants to do it, we might do that for the final season of Succession. But thank you, Zia, for the super chat. I'm so glad you were able to attend every Sunday and having a good time, because I certainly am. So shout out to Harley and shout out to Zia with super chat love, and everyone in the chat right now. We got 45 people watching live. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be getting this thing started once the episode's loaded. But until then, if you haven't already, make sure you're hitting the thumbs up. Hit the share button too. If anyone that likes talking about this show and wants to get around a lot of like-minded, fun individuals, will share the video. And of course, we're live, so continue to drop your comments in the live chat. And those that are watching the replay, if you can do the same, I would greatly appreciate it. Shout out to those watching the replay, by the way. Tim, what's going on, my man? Justin in the building. What's up? Zia, she say, I saw Cocaine Bear today and Creed on Wednesday. Yeah, that's dope. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on Creed, Zia. I have my review on that on the channel now, and I'm excited for people to check it out. It's a film that definitely will spark a lot of positive conversations, I think, for a lot of different reasons. But shout out to Creed 3, and y'all can check out my thoughts on Cocaine Bear. I had my fun moments with it, but I didn't like it as much as a lot of other people did. But let me know, Susie, if you're still here. Let me know if you enjoyed Cocaine Bear. That bear was on cocaine, y'all. I binged it. I binged hard. It was fun. What is that, a show? I binged hard. I don't know. Let me know, Tony, what you binged over the weekend. Can't believe, I know, man, this week has been going by super fast. Super. May says that Glenn cliffhanger was the best thing in TV at the time. It had me on the edge of my seat, man. I'm like, what's going on with my man Glenn? But yeah, that was, we talk about it every week. It seems like those prime days of Walking Dead it was like no other, man. Tony says Cocaine Bear was pretty funny too. Some jokes landed, some of it didn't, but I'm glad you liked it. I'm playing. Oh, Dead Space. I heard it's a great game, Danny. All right, y'all. It is that time. It is about that time. It's 8:00. Hopefully, if you guys were here last week, for whatever reason, HBO, it took forever to load up on my HBO app. I was like 10 minutes behind. So let me Let me reset it here and see if it is ready to go, because we are ready. So again, if this is you all first time, yep, there we go. Good, good, good. It's ready to go. So for those that are returning, obviously know the deal. But if you're watching this for the first time, I'm gonna get my headset ready, my headphones ready. This man, he just wants all the attention. Any pet owners out there, your dog, like when he wants your attention, he or she, they like do just throwing his toy around. Like, come on, man, what are you doing? If this is your first time watching, I'm gonna press play. We watched the trailer for whatever HBO has coming up next. We watched a recap as far as previously on, and then from there, I'm gonna have a timer so you guys can keep up as far as where we are on the episode. So with all that being said, let's get it going. All right. And by the way, it looks like episode 7 is 55 minutes long, which has been about the average time for these last episodes. I think the premiere was the longest one because it was supposed to be like 2 episodes. So let me go ahead and share the screen and we will get this party started. All right. Here we go. All right, y'all. On the count of 5. Hold on. Let me make this a little bigger. There we go. All right. So 5, 4, 3, 2, pressing play now. Oh, shout out to Perry Mason. Any Perry Mason fans out there? I enjoyed the first season, and shout out to HBO. They gave me the screeners to the new season, so we might be covering season 2 in a couple weeks. Let me know if there's any Perry Mason fans out there. March 6th. Yep. Right around the corner. Next week. Next Sunday, actually. So again, guys, we're played the trailer. They're playing the previously on. So this is where I am in the episode for those who are just tuning in. Turn on my subtitles for I can hear and see at the same time. You know, your man's getting old now. You know, it's the birthday month. I can't see and hear like I used to back in the day. So I gotta make sure those subtitles are on and I can hear it all. All right, let me get some of these other comments before we get this episode started. Gotta watch Cocaine Babe. I said, yeah. The Strays on Netflix is supposed to be. Yeah, you know, Zia, I was hoping to watch it. I reached out to Netflix like a couple weeks ago. Didn't hear anything back, and you know, the way my schedule works, if I'm fortunate enough to see it early, it helps me out to be able to watch it and break it down. But I couldn't fit into my schedule when it dropped. So yeah, let me know if it's if you got a chance to check it out, Zia. I saw Megan on Peak. I saw Megan, but I haven't seen the extended or the rated R cut or whatever the bloody cut it was. Let me know if it was good. If you saw some of the gore. I don't know if you saw it before it hit theaters, because it was like I said, it took out a lot of the gory stuff to make it PG-13. So let me know if it's worth checking out the rated R version. Would Jay watch Megan as well? And Jay, I love Babylon, man. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies of last year. DC is my favorite too. Yeah, Tony, that's what we do, man. We some DC fans over here, my friend. DC all the way through and through. Let's see here. Halo show sucked. Played the DLC. Looking forward to this episode. Fingers crossed. Gotcha. My man, you're talking in the building. What's up, man? I'm planning on riding over the ending. Man, it's sad, man. But like I said, I'll rather them know that they want to end it versus like prolonging and stretching out, milking the storyline. So it sucks, but and who knows, man? It might be a spinoff. I wouldn't be mad for a Greg and Tom spinoff. I love those two. All right, y'all. Let's get it. Episode starting. Oh, actually, hold on. We got a couple super chats. Let me give you guys a shout out. I think I saw a couple more. Shout out to my man, Jay Manley. How was your weekend? It was great, Jay. Like I said, just kind of chilled, laid back, watched Outer Banks, watched a couple other things. So I'm doing good, Jay. Thank you so much for the super chat. And I hope you had a great weekend, my friend. It's good to always see you. My man, B. Avery, showing some love. Shout out to B. Avery, who had his weekly roundup show tonight. So definitely check that out once we're done watching this, y'all, and after we're done with our after show. But shout out to B with the $10 super chat. Movie Files rules. Thumbs up the video. Let's get a great night. Thank you, B. Thank you, man. Yes, you heard him. Thumbs up. I appreciate you, B. Hope you're doing good, brother. We gotta link up soon to talk about what's the next big thing? DC. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, Jay, we were talking about, will we see what happens to Joel? I thought it was going to be an all flashback. Well, we get to see what happens, y'all. I'm happy they're addressing this because I honestly thought it was going to be mostly a flashback. Like, and probably from here on out, however this is resolved, will be a flashback to probably when she was. What I would imagine now, I haven't played the DLC, but I would imagine what's going through now with Joel, she's going to probably remember what happened with her with the flashback sequence with Riley. I would imagine that'll be the correlation with tonight's episode. Like her feeling alone or a friend of hers being hurt. Yeah, that's what I would imagine. She's going to probably recollect the time. Mm-hmm. It's a nice song. What song? Who's this? Oh, you watched the Jake Paul fight? Didn't he lose, Tony? He finally lost. I assume she's talking about Storm Reed's character, Riley. Captain Kwong. Gave it 3 out of 5. I gave it a little bit lower than that, but we're right around the same area. Tony. Oh yeah, Outer Banks. I binged it too, man. Oh, we got a puppy coming in. Love little puppies. 2 dogs. They both they're the main character. What's up, Nisi? How we doing? Yeah, so again, I would imagine what he just said, you can be a leader, kind of ties into what's going on with Joel. She has to step up as a leader. There's that book of puns. Perry Mason, you're a Perry Mason fan. We got some Perry Masons in the building. Happy early birthday. It was actually I had my birthday earlier in the month, L. Shout out to L, by the way, but yeah, it was earlier this month. But I appreciate it. Okay, got some Perry Mason fans. I like that. I'll have to. Yeah, it was a really good show, Xavier. I really enjoyed season 1. Oh, the reviews are bad. I would imagine so, that Kate, that she had to some way somehow muster up some energy, and I'm sure Joel, like, you know, didn't put all his weight on her, but yeah, I would assume that's how they got in that position. Yeah, Zia, yeah, it's like that's the path that at least Kwong Commission Captain Kwong wanted her to go down, is to be an officer one day. Oh, okay, so Riley's still okay. Well, I assume this is Riley who's sneaking in. She just probably escaped. Yeah. Shout out to Storm Reed, man. She's such a great up and coming actress. Wow. Got a own gun and everything. So you would assume that Riley was the one that kind of made her think differently of the Fireflies. Yeah, I would assume she's taking her to the mall, right? One would think. I think that line she just said is going to come back, trusting her with her life. Oh, no worry, X. We're just, yeah, if you just appreciate you stopping by. It's Riley, another dead character walking. Like I said, I haven't played the DLC voice, but I would assume we haven't seen her in the present timeline. So I don't either they split ways. She went with the Fireflies, or something maybe happened to her. So we'll see. But I would also imagine when she was telling Tess and Joel about when she went to the mall when she got bit, or when she killed her first clicker or killed the infected, she didn't mention Riley. So I would imagine there's a reason why she didn't mention her, because whatever happens at the mall probably didn't end up well. But I guess we'll find out. I wonder if Riley has met We haven't got Marlene in a minute. I wonder if she knows her. Oh, you good, Al? No, no worries, no worries. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She ain't about to get bit now, is she? Uh, yeah, it's time to bounce, ladies. I might be wrong, but I think this is the same outfit Ellie wore in episode one when she was captured by the Fireflies. So I think all this is taking place chronologically, like literally hours before episode one. I could be wrong though, but it looks like it's pretty much the same outfit she was wearing. And I think she had a bruised eye too when we saw her. So this could be all in the same night or leading into the next day when Marlene and them get her. But cleaner. Okay, that's what I thought. What's up, ER? Okay, y'all thinking the same thing? That's the same outfit. Oh, that might be Tess. Oh, not Tess, but Marlene. I wonder if she met Marlene, because she is a leader. Is it weird that I've always whenever I see movies in New York, I think Spider-Man comes to mind, also John Wick and stuff. When people do that in movies and shows, I'm like, I wonder if I would have the courage to do that. It doesn't look far. I was a former athlete, so your boy used to have hops. So, but I've always wanted that adrenaline rush from jumping from roof to roof. I got to start small though, like at a local small neighborhood, and not like a city building from one building to the next. But am I tripping y'all? Would y'all ever do that, or has anyone done that in the chat? Anyone jump from a roof to another roof? What sport? Football and basketball. Yeah, football and basketball. I wonder what the age difference. I would imagine Riley's like 16 and Ellie's 14, about 2 year difference. Besides her obviously being taller. Kids, man, be doing the dumbest stuff. I think I was just checking. I think Druckmann wrote this episode solo because Craig Mason's been writing most of this. Yeah, Neil Druckmann wrote this episode, so makes sense since he also did the DLC. Oh wow, that's super dope. I wonder is this y'all think this is a mall or a set? Do you think they rebuilt this entire mall, or is this some practical and some CGI? I think some of it's the set and some of it's practical, or some of it's CGI. First time in a mall, first time in a car. It's the little things, right? That you don't get to experience that blows people's minds. Yeah, I've seen my fair share of movies and shows when things are having fun. You got music playing in the background. This ain't gonna be a good ending, I can tell. Not from a like enjoyment perspective, but I think that it's gonna be some sadness coming on. Get your tissues ready, ladies and gentlemen. I would imagine. You're right, L. I'm out here in St. Louis, and there's like so many malls. It's kind of, I mean, it's kind of sad to see all those malls or the stores in the malls be shut down. It's just kind of crazy with online shopping. But yeah, you're probably right, L. Can find a ton of these anywhere. Who beat up the girl? What was her name? Becky, whatever name. You love her acting. Yeah, too much good stuff's going on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was callous what happened to her. Hmm. Interesting, interesting. A little flirtation going on, y'all think? With the little comment, her wearing the underwear and Ellie trying to make her hair look pretty and cute. Someone's got a crush. Or maybe it's mutual. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Zooming in on the hand. Okay, that's a little first love, little butterflies. This is the carousel from the trailer. What do you say? Storm Reed stayed playing a teenager who with her old ain't she? Hold on, old ass. Is she like 19? She ain't that. She can't be. Yeah, she ain't. Hold on. Let me see. I'll put my money on it. She is 19 years old. Storm Reed. Cause she was just a baby just yesterday. She is 19. Yeah, she ain't. Okay, what you tripping? She's still a teenager. She's 19. She'll be 20 this July. She's still a baby. She's still a baby. Calm down, Kay. Yeah, definitely, L. Definitely some flirtations going on there. Pretty smooth. Yeah. Y'all caught that too, right? Storm. No. Yeah, she's 19. I just checked. She's 19 years old. Yeah, still a teen. Got some Storm Reed fans in here, and I'm one of them. I'm a big fan of her. She got a really bright future ahead of her. Here it comes. Fasten your seatbelt. Yeah, Bella's 19 too. The actress. Yeah. Yippers. Oh, really? I didn't know that, Vaughn. Shout out to prime time. All right. It's about to hit the fan, y'all. She bounced because she got sewer duty. I thought it would be a little bit more, a little bit more to it. I'm sure she obviously wanted to make a change, but it seems like that was the thing that broke the camel's back. A time machine. Just looking at it from a narrative perspective, how y'all feeling so far in this episode? I mean, again, this is some really good acting. I think they're really leaning heavily on, Ellie being a leader with Captain Kwan, and even her saying she can lead the lead when she's older. But how y'all feeling so far? Y'all feel like this is so far? Do you feel like this was worth dedicating an episode to Ellie? Screen is frozen. Who said that? Is my screen frozen? Can y'all see me? Or are you talking about your screen is frozen? Let me know. Are we good? Are we good? $5 in 2003. If they stick the landing, it's worth it. Okay. Oh, your screen. Okay, thank you, man. You had me panicking for a second there. Since we know Riley isn't long for this world, this episode feels like a filler. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think there'll be some, like Kay said, see how it all plays out to see if it all pays off. I mean, we're 33 minutes in so far, and I mean, I haven't learned anything new that moves forward our main story. So I mean, I'm not a big fan of that filler word, but again, we'll see how it all pans out. But I mean, I think the biggest thing, like I said, is just probably Ellie going through something that changes her. I don't know if we needed a whole episode to show that. Because you know what I would have, not that I'm a writer, clearly, but what I would have probably done, because a lot of some of this stuff, like that we're seeing now, they probably could have intercut between a valuable life lesson or something her and Riley talked about, and then cut back to her trying to take care of Joel, and she's getting the medicine, getting the peroxide, and she cuts back to what happened with Riley. So, because don't get me wrong, I like these characters, but I mean, sitting here watching someone play a video game and walking through the mall is not the most exciting. But again, I know for those that played the DLC, I would imagine this is like a shot for shot for a lot of stuff that happened in the game. I would assume because again, I haven't played it. Like them playing this game, I would imagine it's probably the DLC, the carnival or the carousel is probably part of the DLC. So I guess a lot of the video game fans are like loving this. Yeah, Melina was badass. Shout out to Melina. Fatality. But like I said, let me know in the chat, guys. How y'all feeling so far? Are we feeling it? We're not feeling it. I was gonna say Spice. Oh, you thought I was feeling you? Fingers crossed we keep Riley. This photo booth scene is right from the game. That's what I figured. Ellie's character is being developed though, but she's already been developed a lot. Yeah, like I said, I assume something's gonna happen that's gonna like obviously change her. They need at least 12. Yeah, we only got yeah. What are we about to cut to? There's gonna be a clicker or an infected or a killer Chucky doll. Why are they zooming in on these dolls? Is there an Annabelle doll in here? Little Megan doll? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, here we go. Only took 37 minutes, but here we go. Here we go. OG, Mortal Kombat. Kill someone every weekend. Every week. I love this show, but they're playing too safe. They need more action sequence interactions with clickers, runners, etc. So good so far, but I'm scared. Yeah, it's about to break out. It's about to break out. Y'all scared? Ellie's in the short sleeves. Yeah, she took her jacket off. I think this episode is sweet and why my kids are surprised I'm watching a zombie show. Macho Nacho. Oh, she's standing. She been standing in the mall. Oh, okay. Wait, she been staying in the mall and she didn't see that big ass infected. Well, this explains where the pun book came from. Nice. Storm Reed X. That's he's been in quite a few projects. The Ava DuVernay film. What's the name of that movie? Wrinkle in Time. Wrinkle in Time. Oh, it's those bombs or grenades. She was in Suicide Squad. 12 Years a Slave. She's been in quite a few things. Missing. Yep. Most recently, Missing. Euphoria. Damn. Yeah, that wasn't a smart move. She should have just got the book and say right here, I'll get the book. This is kind of a last hurrah. Okay, it was Marlene. Yeah. Yeah, so she wanted to hang out with her one last time. That's what I'm saying. Is like you would have thought that they would have scouted this place out a lot better. I mean, that's a pretty obvious thing to catch. She's about to get attacked. Yeah, this ain't gonna be good. Yeah. Is that Riley screaming? Oh, I was saying that does not sound like her. But I think that's the mall. Yeah, that's the mall with homeboys or that. Yeah, I feel like with 10 minutes left, she's gonna hit the fan pretty quickly, and we're gonna wrap it up. Oh, you think they're gonna think it's someone dressed in a costume? Well, they would still be on alert. Are you saying that they think it's gonna be someone sitting there dressed as a costume and then come up close to him? I'm gonna have to rewatch episode 1 because I would think Ellie would hate Marlene, right? For recruiting Riley, putting her in this mall, whatever's about to happen. But I don't remember. I mean, she was being a smartass to her, but I would have thought she would be hateful towards her. But I don't remember that being the case in episode 1. She did turn the music up, not the loud music. Yeah, I mean, they thought they were in the clear. Those masks are scary. What is it? It looks like the clown from what's that PlayStation game with the cars and of course a werewolf. Twisted Metal. Thank you, George. Thank you, George. Shout out to George. I was trying. I was like, how can I gotta figure out the name of this film, show or game? Thank you. Did Ellie meet Marlene prior to this episode? No, I don't think so. Because she was like, "Who's Marlene?" So no, but Marlene knew who she was. Which here we go. But Marlene knew who she was because obviously Riley told her about her. Well, I think she said she might have known him when she was a kid. Something about to happen. Literally the kiss of death. Literally the kiss of death is what she just probably gave her. Yep. Yep. That was kind of anticlimactic. Oh damn. Is she knocked out? What? Sure to get bit. That feels a little clunky. I feel like Riley got bit. Oh no. Well, we know Elle got bit. But clearly she doesn't know. She has cure. Oh damn. She got bit too. Damn. Damn. Bro, she must have been sitting on the top of them stairs for like 15 minutes to remember all that. It was a weird transition. She should have already been doing this versus her sitting at the top of the stairs rethinking what just happened in the last 30 minutes. You know, I figured one of them was gonna get bit. I mean, especially Elle, because I would imagine this was when she got bit, which is the case. It's time to make a death pact. Oh wow. Damn. So like when did Elle realize that she's not affected? Oh, oh, that's that's. Similar. Not quite all the way emotionally, but no, I know what you're saying though. See, to me, this would have been better piecing in what she's doing now, trying to save Joel and cutting between the two versus what we got. Because obviously, what Riley just told her, not giving up is she's not giving up on Joel, right? She's looking for all this stuff in the kitchen and trying to heal him because she doesn't want to give up hope. And yeah, connects right to her and Riley holding hands. So I see the parallels. I just wish they were executed better between the two different plots. Ugh, I never got stitches before. That looks painful as hell. That's how it ends. Rough. That was not a good ending. Am I the only one that didn't like that ending? That's so abrupt. And then we don't even see what happened with her and what happened with Riley. I mean, one would assume that. Well, no. What do we think that Ellie killed Riley when she turned? Hold on, man. Who played the DLC? Who played the damn DLC? Because I- that was trash. I'm sorry. That was a terrible ending. Let me see this trailer, man. That was whack. Is this David and his psychotic friends? Yeah, it's David, y'all. I don't want to say too much for those that haven't played the game, but be fearful of David. I'll say that. Yeah, it's about to go down next week, which is good because this episode, man, that episode was. I was. We talked about it right 30 minutes ago. If it sticks to landing, but they missed the mark for me. And of course, those watching live, I always like to watch a little after show to kind of get a piece of the writers and directors' mind. I didn't enjoy this episode, y'all. I'm okay with a slow beginning, slow build to something. That was not a good ending to the episode. It felt rushed, felt clunky, felt like abrupt. And we don't even see what happened with Riley. Again, if anyone played the DLC, let me know. Is that how the game ended? Because that's pretty unsatisfying for me. I just want to get a piece because I know Neil wrote this episode, so I want to let's see. He talks about the connection of DLC in this episode because again I haven't played the DLC, but gosh, every time I hear Bella actually talk and hear her British accent, it always throws me off. All right, y'all, put your scores in the chat, man. Out of 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I'll share my score a little bit later in our after show, but I mean, I'll just give you a little sneak peek. It ain't gonna be that high. It ain't gonna be that high. Excuse me. Oh, I did not like that ending. Man, I would go as far as saying this was an unneeded episode. The metaphor for this episode is what is to skip school in a post-apocalyptic. Do we really need a whole hour for that? Put your scores in the chat, y'all. Put your scores in the chat. We'll be having our live after show after I take a quick little break, little commercial break. Okay, so that was an actual mall. Let's see. Where everyone at with this episode? Is it just me? I'm on an island. Voice gave it a 5 out of 10. You should write. Nah, niece. I'm not that great of a writer, but I would have cut. But we'll talk about it tonight. We'll talk about it. Flashback was still about 90% of the episode, as we predicted. Yeah, we did, didn't we? Worst episode. We'll get into my thoughts a little bit tonight. I'm not too far off from that sentiment. It doesn't do any good to stitch it up. It's eternal bleeding and symbolism. And yeah. She needs to give me something to bite on. Got a 5. This was sad episode, but enjoy seeing more back. I mean, what background? I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying, Kate, but we didn't learn anything new from Ellie. Like, I thought this was going to be like a huge character shift to really get a better understanding of her perspective on just who she is in the current time. So They're talking about the decision and them thinking they're gonna die, so maybe they'll address. Yeah, obviously Ellie was panicking. He's talking about Ellie's rage. Thumb down. So basically, all we needed was the last 10 minutes. That's how I feel. So next week will be more flashback. No, based on the trailer, Kate, it's going to be present day. So no more flashbacks, at least for next week. Yeah, well, we'll get to my thoughts later, Kate. This was my least favorite episode so far. Yeah, I get the parallels that they're talking about with Riley not giving up on Elle and paralleling that to Ellie with Joel, but you got to end that chapter a lot better, in my opinion. What happened with Riley? How long did they survive before obviously Riley turned and they discovered that Elle was not infected? They don't even answer that. I don't know, man. Like I said, put your numbers in your scores in the chat, y'all. And we an hour of our life will never get back. Least favorite episode to me. We ended where we ended last week, pretty much. They should have just rolled that into next week's episode because it looks like next week's gonna definitely kind of make up for the lacklusterness of this episode. Yutaka, LOL, I'm the only one that liked the episode. I thought it ended differently when I watched it. We'll get into my thoughts, Yutaka. I wasn't a fan of that ending, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna need someone in the chat to tell me how the DLC, or I can obviously look it up or watch some YouTube videos on it. But the game end like that? Did it just abruptly end and then cut? Like, am I missing something here, y'all? Am I missing something? Let's see here. I'm not actually bothered with this episode, but I get why some might be. Yeah, no, I thought the ending was pretty bad. Not my favorite episode. I was looking forward to it. For me, it's not as bad as y'all making it, but I understand. Yeah. No, listen, my biggest issue, Tim, and we'll talk about it again. You know what? Matter of fact, keep putting your scores in the chat. I'm gonna run to the restroom, take a quick little 5-minute break, get some water, and then we'll have our live after show. So get all your thoughts together, put your scores in the chat, and I will see you guys in 5 minutes when we'll have our after show talking about my thoughts about what worked for me in this episode and what didn't work for me in this episode. So I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. We'll have our live after show. Go ahead and refuel on your own, get your snacks, and I'll see you guys on the other side for tonight's after show for this very interesting episode. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. All right, y'all. Welcome back. Let's a little quick commercial break, restroom break after our watch party. Thank you guys that are tuning in to the second half of tonight's stream, which is the live after show, where I kind of share my score, my thoughts, what I thought about the episode. If you weren't able to join the watch along, again, if you watched the watch along, you saw how I felt about, the build up, and we talked about it. Hey, if we're having a slow burn, I'm okay. As long as it has a good, satisfying conclusion, if we get a good little capper to the end of this episode, hey, your boy's good with that. But boy, that ending, I was not a fan, y'all. We're gonna get into my thoughts here in a second. I'm just getting this HBO. So get some screen grabs so we can talk about certain scenes that, again, that worked, some scenes that maybe didn't entirely work for me. But man, this is let me just put it out there. This is my least favorite episode of the season. This and episode 4 are my least favorite episodes. This one takes the cake because at least episode 4, Ellie and Joel were more involved. But yeah, we'll get into my score and my full thoughts. But as we kind of trickle in, for those that are just tuning in or those that are coming back from our little commercial break, do me a favor, put your score in the chat. How did you all feel about this episode from a scale of 1 to 10? And then to elaborate on that score, let me know your full thoughts on what you thought worked in this episode, what didn't work for you in this episode. And then more importantly, I want to say more importantly, but something I would love to know, those that played the DLC that this episode was based upon, which was called Left Behind, let me know. I can clearly see that there were some parallels. Not even, I haven't played the DLC, but I can just tell just based on the show, because I have played the actual, I always get this messed up. I played the game and I can see the parallels and the callbacks and the, Easter eggs and the shot for shots from the game. But let me know that played the DLC. What was some of the shots that they recreated in tonight's episode, but also narratively speaking, was it pretty much the same type of outcome? Because that ending to me, which is my least favorite element about tonight's episode, it was so abrupt. Things just ended so quickly. And we didn't even get the resolution of what happened with Riley. One would assume that obviously she got sick, but did Ellie have to shoot her? Did she take her own life? Did Marlene find them? And Marlene was the one that took her out. Like, that to me seemed like that was going to be the crust, the crust, well, the crust of the pizza, if we're going to go there. But no, I thought that was going to be the crux of tonight's episode, was to show you what happened to Riley and how that, besides some of the parallels being obvious of the episode, like Riley pushing her, never giving up, I'm always going to be here for you, and parallel that to what Ellie's doing to Joel. But besides that, we got an hour of someone said it in the chat earlier, we could have just did that in 10 minutes. Like, I would have put my little writer's hat on, not a writer. Shout out to the writers of the show that do this for a living. To me, it would have made more sense to cut between the two plots. We're here with Ellie and Riley. We understand that they're good friends. This is their last hurrah. And we could have cut out all the stuff with her talking to Captain Kwong about being a soldier or whatever, officer. Could have cut all that. Could have cut all the stuff with the girl, her fighting. Could have cut, Riley taking her to the mall. We could just went straight to the mall, honestly. It was enough context to understand, because we've already established in this show that she went to a mall in episode 2. So, obviously as an audience, we're like, okay, this is the mall stuff she's talking about. So that, to me, we could have just went straight to that. And then in between the coins, reloading the games, playing Mortal Kombat again, I would assume that's a shot for shot from the DLC. That's cool. But I could have cut all that out and just went to Joel and Ellie. Joel and Ellie could have been talking during this time that he's dying or thinking he's dying. They could have been having conversations. It could have been a little bit more of that development between them two, because she's thinking he's going to die. So I would have cut all that stuff out, trimmed like 20, 25 minutes from the flashback, and cut between Ellie and Joel communicating, talking, and then relaying to whatever conversation they're having between Ellie and Joel, then cut to Riley maybe having a similar conversation with Ellie, which they did a couple times. Like I said, the biggest parallel was she didn't want to give up on Ellie. So, that obviously is where Ellie is pushing herself. We'll get to the scenes, but just kind of jumping ahead, where she's in the kitchen looking to save Joel by any means necessary. So that's obviously a on the nose connection between the two. But outside of that, man, this episode was rough. And that ending, it ended so quickly. And then we're going to break it down. Let me get off my soapbox. Let me get to the chat. Let me see what y'all are talking about. As you can see, I'm not the biggest fan of tonight's episode, but That's just me. Let's see how the audience is feeling. Which, by the way, we got 86 people watching live. I appreciate all 86 of you all. Those that are here from the watch party, y'all the real MVPs. I appreciate you. Those joining the second half of the stream, I appreciate you as well. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. Leave your thoughts in the comments. We're doing this live because I want to interact with you all in the moment. This is the best, right? Because it's the raw emotions. We just got done watching it, so we can have all of our thoughts laid out on the table. So leave your comments in the comment section. And those watching the replay, if you can do the same, I would greatly appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up, share, and comment in the comments below. So all right, let's see. We got a 5, man, coming through with a 5 out of 10. Zia gave it a 7 out of 10. We got Jada with a 7 out of 10. We got Maddie with 6.5 out of 10. Let's see here. The Diva of Comedy, the first disappointing episode. Yeah, I'm right there with you. We got a 7.25. We got Voice with a 5. We got a 6. Yeah, that's literally that's what I said. So I was like, that is trash. The ending was really bad. I'm sorry, that ending was pretty terrible in my opinion. It just felt so rushed. It just happened out of nowhere, and it just felt like, why the hell didn't they show you what happened to Riley? Again, if there's any game players that play the DLC, let me know what happens in the game. Is it similar ending? It's just unfulfilling ending. Zia gave it a 7 for cute YA drama. It was a filler. Yeah, and Z, I said this earlier. I'm not a big fan. I don't want to say I'm a big fan. Sometimes I think when people use the word filler, they just kind of use that as just kind of a filler word, just kind of a broad statement. But I totally agree. If someone said they feel like this is a filler episode, I wouldn't argue with them, because I felt like this was a filler episode, because I felt like 95% of this episode could have been cut out, and we could have just got to the meat and potatoes of what happened with Riley in the mall, and we didn't have to have all that other stuff. Again, like Zia's saying, the acting was great. I thought Storm was fantastic. Of course, Bella's been, hitting it on the high note since the first episode. But, of course you see it. And we saw the flirting happening when they were looking at the lingerie, and then Ellie fixing her hair. So yeah, all that YA stuff is cute and all, but yeah, this is episode 7. We got 2 episodes left, y'all. So I want these last 3 episodes to just hit on a satisfying conclusion to this really great story. So this, to me, I love YA. I love, dramas. I love love stories and all that, but not in the middle. Well, not even in the middle, not in the back half with 2 episodes left. Like, you got to give me some more meat, y'all. But I don't want to sound, too needy or sound, what is it, like I say I needed that. I don't need it, right? But I just thought that the story was just grown into a lot of good stuff, and I just wasn't a fan of what we got in this episode. Jay with the 7, Young, we got a 4, 6.5. We got K with the 3 out of 10, wasting my time. Hey, it was Tim with the 7. We got a 6.5. No, no Pedro, no high rating. Pedro was in it. He was just, oohing and on with his stab wound. We got an 8 from Paige, 7.5, a 6.5. Let's see. I wish they at least showed how Ellie found Tim. Yes, so many things they could have gave us in this episode. How she found out she was immune. How did it end with her and Riley? I mean, it's so much. We got another 5. We got another 5. Yeah. Again, to anyone out there that enjoyed this episode, I think the homie Yutaka, who's been on the channel before, shout out to him. He enjoyed it. And I can respect that, man. I respect anyone that enjoys this episode, and that's the beauty of TV shows and movies. We can all have differences of opinion, but I just thought that this episode just missed the mark on a lot of fronts. Okay, you played the DLC left Riley's face. Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I'm gonna watch it tonight. I'm gonna watch the. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube, so I'm gonna see how it plays out. Little cutscenes. Lee's favorite, not horrible for me. I didn't want to see what happened to Riley. Yeah. Same here. All right, let me pull up just some screenshots here again. Just to kind of, it's not it's not a lot to break down, but we'll find some stuff to kind of make some talking points on. But I mean, we opened episode last week. If you guys joined us, I had the homie Jay Manley on, and we kind of speculated. I wonder how much, if any, will we be in the present timeline? Will we see what happened with Joel? Well, we opened the episode with what happens, what's going on with Joel. So I did appreciate that. As we know, he got stabbed last week. Someone said in the comments when we were doing the watch party, I wonder, did Ellie drag him all the way there to herself? Well, I would assume so. I would imagine he was still conscious enough and had enough strength to kind of, I don't know how far from where they are to where he got stabbed at was, but the adrenaline's high, right? So Ellie, put him on the shoulder and got him where they needed to be. But we open this episode with him just saying, go north, find not find Marlene, go back, find Tommy, complete the mission. And we see her, the strength, right? And again, I understand her. And this is like one of those things when you're in a moment and you kind of remember something when you could have, a similar situation. So she kind of goes back on her memory bank and she remembers someone very close to her, like Joel. In this case, it was Riley, having a similar type of thing where she's like, no, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to, fight for you. We're going to live for tomorrow. So we see her at the top of the stairs and having this flashback, having this moment of when she experienced something very similar to someone that mattered to her. And I jokingly said, because it's funny, we cut back after like 30 minutes spinning in the flashback. We cut back to the same scene. She's still at the top of the stairs. So I'm like thinking to myself, man, if I'm Joe, I'm like, what is this girl doing? What are you doing? Top of the stairs. But either way, we cut from here of this opening and getting an idea of what Joel's going through and what's going on in Ellie's mind and not want to give up on him. And we get a little bit of Ellie's life, her at the QZ and what was her name? Bethany. This girl picking on her, and Bethany, I think that was her name, saying that Ellie, your friend's not here. So, pretty much getting bullied. So we get the sense that Riley is someone that sticks up for Ellie and, is there for her, but obviously she's not there. So this young Bethany girl catch that hook right in the face, y'all. So we all know Riley's a bit of a firecracker. She doesn't take on anyone's shit. So I kind of saw that coming. And this whole scene here with her and Captain Kwong, who's, giving her the good old speech that we get from a lot of these, kids that are considered delinquents or kids that seem to be, acting out or having a bit of violence in school. He gives her the two paths. You can go down this one path and be an officer and follow the rules. And you don't even have to do this and do that. And then there's the other path that you're going down. You're going to end up killed. You're going to end up, getting someone hurt, this, that, and the other. I mean, we've seen that before. So this wasn't anything too shocking for me. But I guess the only thing that I really kind of took away from that particular scene was there was a point in Ellie's life when she was at the QZ and she was contemplating and thinking like, maybe this is what life's going to be for me. And maybe I will go down option A that Mr. Kwan gave her in regards to going down a path of just kind of living out the rest of her days in a very kind of rinse, recycle, repeat lifestyle and just kind of making it by being just an officer and having a little bit more benefits than going down that other path. So we go from there. And, obviously this is where we cut to Riley catching up with her and we figure out when she scares her, which by the way, listen, man, I don't care if you're my best friend or if you're my mom. And you don't be sneaking in someone's window and putting your hand over your mouth when they're asleep. That's a easy, shot to the face for me. But, luckily Riley wasn't shot or stabbed or punched in the face. She was pushed off, but we find out that she's been gone for, I think she said 3 weeks. And Ellie thought that she was dead. Obviously, someone that's out in this world is gone for that many days, worst case scenarios where your mind goes. But she's here. She's back. And she tells her she's now a firefly. She is no longer, going to be staying here. Well, she didn't tell her all that, but pretty much she said that she's going to be going down the path of a firefly and living that life and living that different lifestyle. But she wants to show her something. What she wants to take her out on this fun night, the best night that she's ever had, which leads us to them, doing. And then again, to Zia's point, the YA, fun, cool, and I think, I watched the after show or the director Neil, who created the game, and he didn't direct this episode, but he wrote the episode. Neil Druckmann. He talked about how the whole kind of theme of this episode was, what does it look like when kids in this post-apocalyptic world? What does it look like when they skip school? So that was kind of the theme of this episode, which, on paper sounds cool if we had like 15 episodes. But again, knowing that this is episode 7 to me, that kind of felt like the placement of this episode felt a little bit odd, considering all the main plot being so, what's going to happen with Joel? Are they going to make it to, the destination? So to me, all this stuff, and again, as they're going through the back alleys, going through the window, they find this guy who's, obviously, in this world. It's a messed up world, man. It's not a lot to fight for. There's not a lot of hopeful people here. We see they find a man who had some alcohol and mixed it with some pills and took his life, man. And for a second there, I'm like, oh, are we already gonna get an infected early on in the episode? But no, this was just, again, just kind of that kind of Stand By Me, the YA vibes, teens finding a dead body, and I've never, as a kid, listen, I'll tell you right now, I've done some crazy, stupid shit when I was a kid. But if I ever saw a dead body, I'm not like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, all right, I gotta cut that away. But they're looking at homeboy. They take his alcohol. He falls through the floor, which, again, I'm like, oh, this is about to go down. But nah, not quite yet. Not quite yet, y'all. But at this point in this episode, like I said, what is this, 16 minutes in? I'm like, okay, I'm okay with this stuff, because we're building, we're getting to understand the relationship, we're getting to see this dynamic between the two, and we're maybe going to be building to something that's going to add up and pay off, but not quite. But let me see where you guys were at this point in the episode. Let me catch up to some of these comments here, and then we'll get back to the breakdown. Nisi says, I can't wait to see Marlene. Yes. Again, that ending was so bad to me, because it was just so many things you could have done to connect the storylines. Let's see here. This was an all filler, did nothing to propel 100%, Alyssa, I agree with you. Let's see, 6.5 out of 10. Give me some more scores. Let's see. The game has much more suspense in it. That's the show. A few good occasions. Show's excellent, but I love the suspense. Yeah, I mean, might as well bring the comment up by X here. Yeah, I've seen those conversations online, and I definitely agree with it to a certain extent, as far as the game being more suspenseful. But that's it, right? It's a game, so there's only so much that a game can do to really get the audience going. Obviously, you're in control. You can decide to shoot a clicker or sneak past one, but in a show, it's out of our hands, right? We're following the story that the storytellers are giving us. So it is kind of you gotta kind of take what they're given. So that is something that I will agree with you, that the game, obviously, it's a lot of stuff that we are in control of, from a entertainment, action, suspenseful type of field. But in the show, we can only do so much in regards to we're at the helm of what the show givers are giving us in regards to how much action do we want to give them, how much suspense do we give them. So definitely a difference there for sure. Chanel says, I gave it a 6 out of 10. Never played the game, but I'm glad we got to see Ellie, how she got bit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess, but it was a little bit anticlimactic to me as far as how she got bit. First off, and we'll get to that scene, when the infected came out, it felt like it was like an edit issue, because it was kind of just like out of nowhere. I thought it would have been a little bit more like they were walking to the curtain, and then they thought they heard something, they kind of laugh it off, and then it like attacks. But it just kind of like ran out, like the way it was set up. She was holding the gun, like, get behind me, and then it was a clunky episode, like from a like a blocking perspective. It just didn't. The execution wasn't all the way there for me, especially with that scene. My favorite episodes are still 4, 6, and 8. One of my least favorite episodes is 4. 6 was last week, was great. and your favorite was 8. Well, we haven't even seen 8 yet, unless you've jumped into the future and saw it, or you got the screeners. But oh, here we go. There you go, X. I see your 4, 5. Got you, bro. Got you. We got an 8 out of 10. Let's see here. Just feel like the momentum fell off. Okay. No, I don't feel that way. But as far as the momentum, because I really enjoyed episode 3, even though it was kind of that bottle episode. Didn't like episode 4 much. Enjoyed the hell out of episode 5 and enjoyed last week. So I still think the momentum was pretty strong. But this episode, it kind of fell off the cliff for me. In the games, both of them, you might got 10 to 15 minutes, but maybe 20 minutes without a fight encounter. Oh, interesting. As far as those, appreciate again for anyone that played the game. Yeah, definitely fill me in on how the game played out versus tonight. What's up, Mac? How we doing, man? How we doing? All right. So getting back into the break, yeah, and we'll get to that ending, Zia. That ending was just like, what? What happened? Did I click a button? Did I hit the wrong button or something? But that ending was just so abrupt. But before we get into the rest of the breakdown, y'all, shout out to all 92 of you all watching live. Do your boy a favor. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. Again, this is an open communication as far as community goes. So let me know your pros, your cons, your highs, your lows. If you disagree, agree, obviously respectfully, for not just me, but everyone in the chat that's interacting with each other. I really appreciate that. But definitely hit the thumbs up, leave your thoughts in the live chat, and let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it going. I'm just reading through some of these comments here. What about the other infected guy in the mall too? Well, they killed. You talking about the one that they killed? They stabbed in the head, or are you saying how they got there? And if it was someone else, maybe I don't know. Let me. Who was that said that? By the way, I think it was Maddie. Yeah, let me know, Maddie, what you meant by that. If you're referring to the person that died, or if you were saying if there was maybe someone else, or how they end up there, if there were other infected in the mall, let me know. But yeah, going back to our breakdown here, like I said, a lot of this stuff, they get the alcohol, they're on the roof, and she's giving Ellie her gun. She's saying how she feels about the meaning of being a firefly, how when she lost her parents, how she just wanted to feel accepted, and she never really felt like she was being herself when she was with, in the ZQ. They're hopping on the roofs like, two kids just having fun, enjoying the night out. And again, 20 minutes or so into the episode, I'm like, again, this is all cute and fun, and kids ditching school, essentially, like Neil said. And they make their way to the mall, and right off the bat, I will always give credit when credit is due. If you guys join me for the watch party, the question I asked was like, oh, I wonder if this is, some set and then some of it's CGI. But after watching the episode Aftershow, this was all practical. This was, I don't know if they said they built this mall for, it was just an abandoned mall they found wherever they were shooting. But, the production value was clean, man. It was, you felt that sense of wonder and amazement from Ellie, because again, she hasn't really experienced much in this apocalyptic world. Again, we saw her experience a car for the first time. We saw her, experiencing many different things throughout these first few episodes. We saw her on the road with Joel. So, taking all this in, and I remember going to the mall for the first time. It's pretty overwhelming. It's pretty cool, but also very overwhelming. And as I was saying through the watch party, it's kind of sad to see malls now. I'm out here in St. Louis, and we have the the big mall out here is the Mall of Galleria Mall. And they have all the big stores, and they have a movie theater and all that stuff. Mostly all their stores are pretty open. But outside of that, every other mall out here in Missouri, or to say at least in St. Louis and other places I live, it's like all these malls are abandoned. So it's pretty crazy to see these malls nowadays with the online shopping presence. So again, all this stuff was cool. And again, them recreating this mall and the set design, all this stuff is fun. Them going down the escalator and all that stuff it's cute. Again, that's the word I can think of. It's cute. It's fun. It's kids being innocent, trying to find some remnants of trying to be normal in this life. Because again, if this was an apocalyptic world, these would be kids going to the mall that would be open, that has other people walking through it. So again, you can appreciate the sentiment of just they're trying to find little light, little glimmers of hope, and to try to find a way to enjoy themselves in this world. But it was during this time that they're making their way down. And this is, again, not having played the DLC, but knowing that Ellie's sexuality is brought up in the second game, which I haven't played, but I am familiar with some of the stuff that the second game does. So in this episode, we see that Ellie does have a thing for Riley, as we obviously found out when she gave her a kiss, and then it wasn't a one-way street. Riley felt the same about her, and then when they're looking at the lingerie. And as soon as Riley said to her, "Oh, I wonder what you would look like in that," right? That's like, obviously she could have said, "Oh, I wonder what I would look like in this," or whatever. But she specifically said, "I wonder what Ellie would look like." I'm like, okay, she might have got a crush on Ellie. And then when Ellie looks in the mirror and fixes her hair, so again, all that stuff is just kids being kids. And it was cute. I'm like, all right, where are we going? Can we pick it up a little bit? But I'm like, I'm gonna be patient because it's gonna probably pay off, right? But from there, we have another moment of them enjoying this mall. Ellie's on the carousel and they're talking and they're drinking and all that stuff. And it's just, again, a moment of them just being kids, enjoying each other's company. Obviously, Riley knows this is the last time she's going to see, or probably the last time she spends time with her. Ellie obviously doesn't know this. She just thinks she's having a good time with her best friend. And, again, all this stuff was pretty okay. I'm just going back to the comments to see how you all felt about up until this point in the episode. Were you locked in, or were you kind of drifting off at this point? Shout out to Tamara with the super chat. Thanks so much for your coverage. Well, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for joining the coverage and joining me in this discussion here. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate the super chat. And again, let me know how y'all felt about the episode, especially when we're up to this point of the episode. Were you still locked in? Were you kind of fading off? Where were we at this point? Let me know in the chat. But let me scroll down a little bit. And again, thank you so much for the super chat. I was okay with getting the background of Ellie. It was and it was dramatic AF. See, and shout out to Silver. I wanted more, if I'm being honest with you, because again, we got a little glimpse of her life. And again, I'm assuming, based on Ellie's wardrobe, that Marlene, episode 1, this had to be maybe a day or two after Marlene finds her that we saw in episode 1. So yeah, I just wanted more of the backstory. I was certain that we were going to get more flashbacks of Ellie based on the trailer. I thought this was going to be when we're going to see Ellie get born. And I know the actress that played Ellie in the video game, I believe Ashley Johnson's her name. She's going to be playing her mother. So I thought we were going to maybe get not only this flashback, but maybe when she was born, and parallel that to, obviously what's going on with Joel, and kind of maybe being a metaphor of him being reborn in some sense. But it didn't happen. So again, I do appreciate getting some context of where Ellie came from prior to her meeting Joel, but I thought it was going to be a lot more in that department of learning a little bit more from her. But they didn't deliver for me on that. Let's see here. It wasn't a bad episode, but definitely not needed. Let's see. It distracts in comparison to how great the fast pace of show has been so far. They didn't easily. Yeah, I totally agree with your sentiment there. Again, I don't want to make it seem like this was the worst episode of television I've ever seen, but on the bar of what we've gotten so far in these past 6 episodes, the bar is high for me. So again, this episode just took like a huge step back. And you know what? I wouldn't have been mad at this episode if it was maybe when we got Ellie and Tess and Joel, and when she told Joel and Tess, or I think she just told Tess that when she got bit, it was in the mall, and that's when she killed someone for the first time. That, to me, obviously we had it followed up by one of my favorite episodes, which was episode 3. But I wouldn't have been mad if they would have put this episode after episode 2 to kind of follow that narrative of, okay, we just heard about the mall. Well, let's follow up and show the audience about the mall. But obviously, thinking about it, Joel was shot, and that's why she had that recollection. But honestly, as far as the way my mind is going, I would have just preferred this episode that had shown us what happened when he got Stats shot, but when he got stabbed, and we could have just went on from that storyline of them having their conversations and maybe showing Ellie outside trying to find a doctor of medicine or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, as far as the placement of this episode, to me, it felt off because the pacing of this was obviously much slower than other episodes, which again I'm okay with, but to give us all the stuff they gave us, I felt like it was kind of, I don't want to say pointless, because there were points that they tried to give us in regards to keep fighting and trying to help the ones you love. But an hour of that to get where we ended up, I don't know, man. This wasn't all the way there. Let's see. Silver says, I think this series is less about plot than it's about character. Yeah, 1000%. Definitely a more character-focused, character-centric TV show, a character study, 100%. And the plot definitely is secondary to that, and the action is definitely way, that's definitely not on the totem pole as far as priority goes. So 100% agree with that sentiment there. Let's see here. Episode 3 and who's this? Episode 3 and 7 are not in the game. Correcto. Yeah, episode 3, there was obviously the connections of Bill and Frank being, pivotal characters in the game, or at least Bill. And then as far as tonight's episode, it wasn't in the main, I always mess this up right there. It wasn't in the main game, but tonight's episode was based on a DLC, which is obviously an add-on from the game. So yeah. 7 was, yeah, and Kevin, yeah, you just mentioned that. Let's see here. Let's see. Voice says the thing that bugged me was this episode is that we've had too many one character arc episodes. I knew it wasn't worth it getting invested into Riley's character since I knew she was. Yeah, I disagree about the investment in the characters, because I think every time we've met a character that ended up dying in the same episode, Frank, Bill, Sam, Henry, we got 2 episodes with Tess, but I think all their deaths played into the main narrative, because they were ways to, with Bill and Frank, it was 2 people that were able to find love in this end of the world situation where things are less hopeful. So for you able to find love in this and to be able to continue to find the little things in life that matters, played into obviously what's going on with Ellie and Joel, and to try to find the cure, to keep pushing forward, to try to find happiness within this darkness. And then when you get Sam and Henry, kind of the same thing as far as that lesson learned from Bill or from Joel. Henry lost his best friend. He lost his brother. And that was like an eye-opening moment of all the death that Joel has experienced, from all the way from Sarah to obviously with Tess in this season, obviously Bill and Frank. And he's probably lost other people throughout that 20-year gap. But for him to have seen that so up and close and just to be so present in that moment with Ellie there was kind of an eye-opener for him, to lead to him wanting to leave her with Tommy in the following episode. So I think all the one episode arcs have been pivotal to the main narrative. But going to the thing I do agree with in your comment here, Voice, is the Riley arc was not present. It wasn't really an arc for Riley at all. It was more so like a plot device that she was just mostly there to just give us a symbolism or a character to kind of show you what Ellie is trying to fight for in the current timeline, but the current plot of her, again, pushing forward, trying to help someone she cares for. But again, to me, I didn't need an hour of that just to get to that point. So yeah, but good comments though. Good comments. I appreciate your Voice. Ellie is immune. Yeah. I mean, we knew that from episode 1 that she's immune, but I was hoping that we would have saw, how did Ellie find out she was immune, right? I was hoping that this episode would have showed us, okay, they got bit. Fast forward a couple of days, Riley's not making it. And just when Riley's about to turn, Ellie's like, what's going on with me? I'm not turning yet. And then that's when Marlene, because obviously Marlene knows where Riley's staying, because they stationed her there. So after days of not hearing from Riley, I would have thought, Marlene and them when it came in there, and just as Riley was going to maybe bite Ellie or something of that nature, boom, Marlene shoots her in the head. And, I don't know, man. I feel like they missed the mark and really exploring a lot of different things they could have gave us in this episode. Oh, same. I don't know you were from Chicago, Zia. I don't know if you know I'm from Chicago. Well, haven't been there in a couple years since that's my hometown though. But yeah, shout out to Shot City. But yeah, malls in the Chicago for at least for where you are in Chicago 3 days. Yeah, it's sad, man. I was never a big mall person, but I still miss those days. Let's see here. But as we kind of get back to the breakdown, as we'll try to find some meaty scenes to break down. Again, we talked about the carousel, just having a little moment to kind of have fun, and this is where she tells Ellie that I got more. Let's not. I know because Ellie's like, oh, I should probably head home. She's like, oh, well, I still want to show you some fun stuff, and again, all this stuff is cool and lovely and fun and cute, but it didn't add up to anything. But again, them taking the photos and Ellie saying, "Is that a time machine?" Again, her just being so that fish out of water of a sense. This moment here, it is a time machine, right? Because you get to savor that moment, and when you get a photo, not to get too sentimental, but that photo represents a certain time in your life that sometimes you wish you can go back to. So in a sense, funny enough, it is almost like a time machine that she can look at that photo and go back to that night, the last time she, was with Riley. So, all these moments are cool and whatnot. But from there, they go from the photo booth, and she has, what does she show her after? Oh, the Mortal Kombat. Like, and this is the stuff I'm talking about. Like, I didn't, it's fun. It's cool. Again, I'm pretty sure those that played the DLC was like, oh man, this is like right out of the DLC. They're replaying the Mortal Kombat game. But man, I'm looking at the timer here. This is like 5-7 minutes worth of screen time that didn't really do anything. But when there's happiness in these post-apocalyptic shows and movies, there's just darkness and evilness right around the corner. We see there's a slow panning shot into this not haunted, but like kind of this creepy store. I think it was the Halloween store. They have these bunch of dolls, and then we cut to this infected person here. And I would assume, based on all the noise going on, is what woke this infected person up. Because again, I would have thought, I was safe to assume that not only has Riley swept the mall to make sure that it's a safe place for her to rest her head at night, but I would have probably assumed that Marlene and the other Fireflies would have probably done the same. And I'm actually surprised they didn't make this like a headquarters space or whatnot. A lot of space, a lot of different departments you can, whatever the case may be. So, but no, I guess that wasn't the case. They didn't sweep through the mall because obviously there's a big ass infected person in the mall. So again, based on what Tess said, they communicate through the fungi and all that stuff. So I would assume by the vibration and them, turning on the carousel, them playing the music, it woke that person up. And I would assume that it wasn't woken up before that, because why would Riley be turning all this stuff on if it was just, I mean, she is a kid. Well, she was, what is she, 16 going on 17 or 17 going on 18? Maybe she would have turned on all that stuff, but maybe just for like a brief time. And maybe, I don't know. It doesn't make any, I don't know how this was missed, how this big, infected person was missed by not only Marlene, but also Riley. But, it is what it is. And it's not a thing where it's just like, oh, well, maybe it was there recently when she was like, no, that for all that stuff that built, that thing was there for a minute. So I think that was just kind of a little thing that was maybe a detail that was missed. But from here, she has one more gift to give her, which is the pun book. And, they're doing the little jokes and laughing and whatnot. But then all the fun and games end when we see Ellie sees the bombs she's been making. She finds out she's been stationed there by the Fireflies. And then she finds out ultimately this was a last hurrah type of a night where, and also too, I forgot, no, they haven't kissed yet. But this is where Ellie is like, you know what? You trying to, this is BS. You should just told me up front. And Riley said, I just want to have one more good time with my friend because I'm going to be going soon. I can't remember where she says she's going to be stationed, but she says I'm going to be leaving soon. I just want to have one more good night with the person that I really care for. And, that's some sweet things to say. But Ellie, man, Ellie don't play that, man. She was like, well, it is easy. You said it now. And she's, understandably so. She's upset. She's a kid, man. This is the only person she's really been close to. And as we know, Ellie has said to Joe several times that every time she tries to get close to someone, or whenever she's got close to someone, she's either lost them or they left her. So this is another example of that at the moment, because obviously we find out that what happens to her in this episode as far as Riley goes. So at this point in the episode, I'm like, okay, they're gonna go their separate ways, but I'm like, okay, but that infected's still there. So is Riley gonna end up, how is Ellie gonna get back into the mix? So Ellie, she thinks about it when she's walking away, and she's like, you know what, I don't want to end things like that. She hears something screaming, finds out it's one of the dolls or one of the machines in the haunted house store. She goes back. She said, hey, this is the last thing I want to give you. And, they're saying their kind of apologies or whatnot. And, they kind of make up for a brief moment. You're my best friend, yada, yada, yada. Put the mask on, put the music on. And again, this to me, the execution, I'm going to try to get to the shot, but they, Ellie, after dancing and whatnot, she tries to make one final plea, like, please, baby, don't go. She tries to tell her, man, we got so much to live for. You're my best friend. I'm your best friend, but I like you more than a friend. And, she makes her move, which, you only get one life to live. Shoot your shot when you get the opportunity. They kiss. She apologizes. She said, nothing to apologize for. The feeling is mutual. So all this is going down. And listen, I've seen my fair share of horror movies, horror shows, zombie movies, zombie shows. As soon as someone kisses someone, you best believe there's something bad just around the corner. And as I said in the watch along, well, that is the kiss of death. It's literally, literally the kiss of death. They hear something rumbling in the background. And again, to me, it's all about execution. I thought the way that they executed this scene was pretty clunky, because, they hear the noise in the background. I'm trying to get the shot. She tells her to get behind her. She's the protector or whatnot. She's the one with the gun. Riley is, pointing the gun out. Man, I wish I can play the scene, but I just don't want to risk HBO flagging the stream and pulling it down. Maybe I can play like a split second of it and then just like pull away. Let me try to get the actual frame here. All right. So I'm going to play the scene. And this is what I meant by it felt like it was just like super abrupt as far as the execution in this moment. So let me share the screen and just play it briefly, and then we'll try to pan away for, again, doesn't get flagged. So, all right, let's play the scene. You see, hold on, let me go back. Let me take this down for a second. To me, it's almost like the creature was like hiding. It's like, why would the infected, like, if they don't have, it was just stupid. Hold on. All right, let me go to it. All right, let me try to move this out of the way, and tell me if y'all feel the same. I just felt like the way that scene could have been so much more suspenseful, a little bit more scarier, but it just felt so clunky. So hold on, let me play it back. Let me move this out of the way. All right, don't pull me down, HBO. Just showing like 10 seconds. Let me move this out of the way. You see, it like comes out like oh, that is bad. I don't know. It was just really just a clunky execution to me, but neither here nor there. Let me get past the little nitpicking. They're fighting with the clicker. Not the clicker, because if this is a clicker, they would have been dead, I think. But this was an affected person. We see Riley's getting tossed around. Elle is getting tossed around, but she eventually grabs her knife, which luckily she had that knife on her. She stabs the infected in the head. Ellie's kind of, again, y'all, she's different, y'all. She reacts to things much differently than kids in this position. And as we've seen in previous moments, being around death, and she's just different. She's built different. She's like, hey, that was fun, right? Can we do it again? And she's all excited about her. And this is actually her first kill, which again, Riley has, or not Riley, but Elle is just, like I said, she just reacts to things a lot differently. And, she's excited. She's laughing. She's smiling. And let me just make sure the stream didn't get taken down while I played that clip. I don't think so. I think you guys are still here. Yes, it's still showing that we're live. All right, we're still good. We're still good. But yeah, Ellie's like, oh man, that was cool, right? Did you see I stabbed the thing in the head? And then she notices, she got bit, y'all. She got bit. And obviously us as the audience, we knew that this was probably going to be the moment in which it happened. which it did. And, she's like looking, she's trying to wipe the wound off and hoping that it's not, not trying to think bad thing has happened. But unfortunately, well, not only did she get bit, but Riley got bit. And they're just sitting there looking at each other like, damn, man, this is supposed to be the best night of our lives. But instead it became the worst night of their life, right? And, again, the acting is great. I don't want to ignore that. Like them finding out that they both were bitten and the frustration and obviously the two different reactions from two different characters. Riley's obviously upset. Ellie's obviously upset. And the way that Ellie reacts is visceral anger. She's breaking the glass, acting rightfully so, right? If you just find out that you got bitten, everyone you've ever known that got bit has turned into something infected, then it's just like this is a reasonable reaction for her. But they're both sitting down, and this is where the moment comes, right? This is where Riley tells her, well, whether it's 1 day, 2 days, we're going to figure this out together. They hold hands, look at each other. It's a really sweet moment. And again, the way the show parallels how Riley tells her, whether it's 2 hours or 2 days, let's just make the most out of this. We cut back to Elle, who's now in the kitchen, tearing it apart. She finds some needles. She finds, a way to stitch up Joel. So again, that moment makes sense for the current moment that we're in, because again, it's a way to propel our story. Is something that she learned in a previous time of hers to keep fighting, and we see that. But to have all that drag on just to hit that moment, it just seemed like a big old setup for a moment that could have been handled in a much better way. And not only did I feel like the payoff was lackluster, but then when you just end the episode the way it did with her patching up Joel and literally just cutting to the credits, I almost thought that I accidentally hit fast forward on my Apple TV. But no, ladies and gentlemen, that's how they decided to end the episode, is having Joel being stitched up with Ellie just playing doctor and just making sure that he's alive and gonna hopefully make it out on the other side. So I was just looking at the ending now. That was a rough ending for me. But again, this show, some people at home might be like, man, E, I couldn't disagree with you more. I thought this episode hit on another level. And again, I appreciate you all that feels that way, and I respect your opinion. But I respectfully disagree, man. This episode, because again, I just hold this show to such a high standard. It came out of the block, hitting episode 1, 2, 3. I wasn't the biggest fan of 4, but it was still moments that I liked about 4. 5, we get that great moment that was 5 to me was how you do build up. We spend the first half of the episode with Ellie and Joel and Henry and Sam, and we're going through the city. We're learning about Sam and Henry's backstory. We're learning about him being a snitch and all that different stuff. All that stuff is character stuff, right? And we got that in this episode. But then what makes that character stuff pay off even better is when you have a moment of all that stuff stirring up to lead into some big conclusion, not for the overarching story, but for the overarching theme and the overarching narrative with this episode. And again, how we started to where we ended just didn't need it to be an episode. We could have simply did something completely different than what we got tonight. So again, for those that really enjoyed it, shout out to y'all, man. But for me, this was the weakest episode this season. And I haven't gave my score. I would give this, again, I like the production. The mall, recreating the mall was pretty cool. The acting was great. Again, I don't want to ignore that. Storm Reed, Bella's great. We didn't get much of Joel, but Pedro, he was good at playing hurt. And did we get any? We didn't really get anything else in this from we got Captain Kwong and we got Becky or Bethany. They were small roles. Didn't impress me. Didn't, nothing bad about them, but they just didn't even leave impressionable performances to me. But, the acting with our main stars was good. Having a moment of fun in this dark, cold, twisted, sad world, and having them go through the mall and being kids at a mall. That stuff is great, and all that stuff. You can appreciate the moment, but it's just like, okay, what is all this building to? And that's where my issue comes in with this episode. It didn't really build to anything. It didn't push our main story forward other than giving Ellie the needed, I guess, motivation, as if she wasn't already motivated to save Joel's life, but she had to, this core memory of hers, pushed her to just keep pushing forward, because I guess the show is trying to tell us that maybe I'm gonna obviously rewatch it, but I think that maybe I'm not gonna rewatch because I really enjoy it. But I'm thinking that maybe there was maybe a split second in when Ellie was maybe gonna be like, all right, maybe this is the end. Maybe I won't be able to save him. But then her going to that memory pushed her to obviously push forward with Joel. So, and then the other thing that really just rubs me the wrong way, we just talked about the ending just feels so abrupt, but I would have thought that you would have used this opportunity to really kind of really dive deeper into the issue, or dive deeper into what mattered to Ellie. And that was, what was the end result of what happened to Riley? Were they there for 1 or 2 days? Was Riley, did it finally hit and she attacked Ellie, but Marlene saved her? Did she end up, because they talked about killing them, taking their own lives. They decided to not go against that. But then when things get worse, did she shoot? And maybe when did Ellie realize that she wasn't affected? Like, there was just so much stuff to fill in the blanks. And I know we have next week, and maybe, I don't know. I don't think we need to have a replay of what happened tonight. But again, I just thought it would have been so much smarter if the writers would have cut between, if they wanted to give us the Riley Ellie backstory, that's fine, but cut out like 20, 30 minutes of that, and then cut between Ellie and Joel having a conversation, and whatever they're talking about is going to relate to what's going on with what happened with Riley. That would have been a much better executed episode, in my opinion. Just so much left on the cutting room floor, maybe. Because again, I haven't played the game as far as the DLC goes, but there you have it, y'all. I'm going to give this, I don't think I gave a score. I was still kind of thinking in my head, what would I give this? I would give this a 6.5 out of 10 for me. The positive being, again, the production, the acting, the moments of innocence of these kids just trying to have a bit of a fun night. And like I said, the acting, that stuff to me was where my 6.5 comes from. But then, the negatives for me, again, was just, it felt kind of pointless. It didn't really conclude or add up to, like, oh man, we've been, leading it all up to this, which to me was lackluster. So 6.5 out of 10 for your boy. So with that being said, let me get off my soapbox and let me see what y'all been chopping up again. So chopping it up with, she was bitten twice. What's up, Johnny? By the way, yeah, Ellie was bitten twice. She was bitten this episode. She was bitten episode 2 with her and Tess. I was expecting a huge chase scene through the mall. Yeah, that would have been pretty exhilarating, right? If it was like multiple infected chasing them. But yeah, regardless of whether it was me, y'all talking about the bites and all that. Let's see here. If she was in me, y'all talking about, yeah, hold on. I love when you guys interact with each other and do it in a very respectfully way. So I appreciate y'all sharing, having some conversations within the conversation. Johnny doesn't matter. YouTube, totally agree. Needed the payoff. Yeah. Yeah, the payoff wasn't there tonight for me. Excuse me. That's in my throat. By far my least favorite. Flash says, I wish we would have had more time. Yeah, 100%, Jay. 100%. And seeing Ellie deal, Maddie saying, seeing Ellie deal with the first bite mark and how she handles it, caught up with Marlene, dealing with the aftermath. Exactly. So much stuff they could have gave us, I feel like. Wonder if they're going to continue. Yeah, I don't know, H. Based on the trailer, I think we're just going to move forward with the main storyline, with Joel being in recovery and Ellie coming across some people led by David. And if you played the game, you know who David is. But if you haven't played the game, you gotta know who he is by next week. And that's gonna lead into obviously the finale, man. We got two. That's another thing that kind of upsets me about this episode, man. We got 2 episodes left, and you decided to give us anyway. Yeah, no, I don't think we're gonna continue any of the flashbacks, but I believe we're gonna continue, obviously, from Joel being healed from Ellie helping him. But yeah. What's up, Jay? How we doing, man? Why is someone putting in a spoiler? What spoiler? Did I spoil? What are you talking about? Yeah, hopefully I don't see any spoilers. I'm trying to read the comments. I don't see any spoilers here. I don't know if spoilers for next week or spoilers for the game. Not sure. So hasn't mentioned. Oh, okay. Well, I think that yeah. Anyone that played the game, try to avoid spoilers. I think I know what you're talking about. Egypt. Yeah, let's try to keep game spoilers from the comment section and just keep that to ourselves. If you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate it. But we're gonna wrap this thing up, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Again, a 6.5 out of 10, my least favorite of the show so far. I'm hopeful that episode 8 and 9 concludes in a way that it kind of, we can put this episode behind us and move forward. But yeah, I just wasn't a fan of a lot of the execution in this episode. But I'm hopeful that next week we're gonna get back on track. I'm more than hopeful. I can guarantee that next week's gonna be a bit of a banger to make up for what I consider to be a pretty lackluster episode. But before we wrap up, man, again, we had up to close to 90 something people watching live, and I appreciate all 90 of you plus that watched the stream. I appreciate everyone that watched the watch party at the beginning for the first hour, and then for those that stayed on, thank you so much for the support. These are my favorite days of the week to look forward to, is watching this show with you all and talking about it. So thank you all that stuck through all the way for almost 2.5 hours. And then for those that popped in and out, whether it was during the watch party or during this discussion, I appreciate y'all, man. It means a lot. You could have been, anywhere in the world, but you were here with me. So I appreciate you, if you were here for 10 seconds or for, like I said, almost 2.5 hours. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then a special shout out to the ones that show some love in the super chat, which was Harley a little bit earlier in the stream, Zia showing some love a little bit earlier in the stream, my man Jay Manley showing some love, my man B Avery, and there was a couple. I tried to star him. I think I might have missed one or two, but there was a couple other super chats. Let's see if I can maybe scroll up and find those. But again, man, it means a lot, man, that y'all support your boy. Yeah. Tamara with the 4.99, thank you so much. And then was there someone else? If I missed one, I apologize. But again, just showing your boy some love, man. In that way, very very appreciative. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think those were it. So. And I missed one earlier from Matilda. She sent a super sticker earlier. I don't know if you're still here, Matilda, but thank you so much for the super sticker. My fellow servant fan of that show. Shout out to you, Matilda. And that might have been the last one. All right. So before we head out, just a reminder as far as what's to come this coming week. Not a lot. Just thinking about it. Last week was pretty crazy. I guess I'll recap what we did last week as far as content. I got a chance to see Creed 3 a little bit early, so you guys can check out my thoughts on that. As far as Creed 3 is concerned, it comes out this Friday, so you can check out my spoiler-free thoughts. And I made a couple short-form videos surrounding Creed. Like I did a Creed ranking, and I did a short video about a scene or a couple scenes or the absence of a character in Creed 3. So keep an eye out for that video later this week. And like I said, the review for Creed 3 is on the channel now. I got my review for Cocaine Bear on the channel. Servant, the most recent episode of Servant. And then I am currently watching part 2 of You season 4. And I've shot a couple videos for that because I'm breaking down each episode, 5 episodes in part 1, 5 episodes in part 2. So I'm doing that now in preparation for when it drops on March 9th. And what else do we got going? I'm gonna probably start Perry Mason episode 1 because that comes out next Sunday. If there's any Perry Mason fans in the building, let me know. And I don't think there's any screenings. I did get a screener for the new. I'm gonna probably watch that tonight. The new Guy Ritchie film with Jason Statham and Aubrey Plaza and Hugh Grant. That comes out. I can't remember the name of it, but that comes out on Friday. I'm gonna be checking it out tonight. So keep an eye out for that review. And is there anything that I'm missing? I know the next week's gonna be fun because that's when Scream 6 comes out. So probably do not only a spoiler-free review, but talking about spoilers and maybe talking about how it all ends because I'm assuming it's going to be a pretty crazy ending with that film. Obviously, when we get the reveal of the killer or possible killers, so that's going to be exciting for the following week. And then March is crazy, y'all. Shazam: Theory of the Gods, which I will be talking about that. I may or may not have seen the film. I'll just say that. So keep an eye out for that video. What else is that? John Wick 4. We got D&D. We got the Adam Driver film 65. We got the return of Succession season 4, the fourth and final season. So Swarm, if there's any Donald Glover fans out there, Prime Video got the new Swarm show. So listen, I'm saying all that to say this. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, y'all. We cover movies and shows, new content, maybe under the radar, underappreciated content for movies and shows. So I love talking to y'all, chopping it up with y'all, interacting with y'all. So hit the bell notification so you can stay up to date with all that content, because it's gonna be a busy month, y'all. It is gonna be a busy month, and I'm excited for it. Final comments before we wrap it up. Silver saying, I appreciate you. I thank you so much for always showing love. Rod saying, love your analysis. I agree with you. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you. My man Jay, let's hope the next two come out will bang. Yeah, I hope so, man. Zia with the thumbs up. Yes, before y'all leave, make sure to hit that thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for the great review. Thank you. What's up, Real? Love your server reviews. Thank you. Sorry. Oh, no worries. If you had time, watch the replay. We had a fun time tonight. Let's see. Are you going to review Yellow Jacket? I haven't seen season 1, so I got to catch up. So probably not, unfortunately. Yellow Jacket's coming. Oh, Jay with another super chat. Thank you, Jay. Once aging great show. Oh, once again, thank you, Jay. I appreciate you, my friend. X saying, Scream and Shazam. Yeah, man. It's gonna be a crazy month. X. First movie. I love the first movie. Can't wait for the sequel. Yeah, I really enjoyed the first movie, and can't wait to talk about the second one. This episode proved that Ellie does understand loss. So sad, a touching night. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Swarm too. Yeah. 65 million years. Yeah, it looks pretty dope, man. Adam Driver always come through with the good movies and stuff like that. Thanks. All right, y'all. Well, again, I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Hope you enjoyed the content. Again, before you leave, hit the thumbs up, share, and then those watching the replay, leave your thoughts in the comment section. If you can do the same, I would really appreciate it. So again, you all are great. You all are awesome. Hope you have a great rest of your Sunday night. Hope you have a fantastic week ahead. And I will see you guys on the next video. And we'll see you next Sunday covering episode 8. All right, y'all. Take care.